Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, I have a scenario in mind that I want to talk to you about because it's a scenario that every Amazon seller finds themselves in from time to time. I spent the last half an hour looking for a product whereby the competition and the pricing would line up with the exact scenario that I have in mind, but honestly, I couldn't find anything this time around that met it exactly. This is the closest I got. So we're going to have to use our imaginations a little bit as I talk you through this scenario and how to find your way out of it. Now, the scenario I'm talking about is when you have a bunch of sellers with the same fulfillment method and the same or very, very, very similar pricing set on the listing. Now, this is as close as I got, as I say, when I was looking for products over the last 30 minutes to see which one would be best to use in this video. So this is as close as I got. I don't want to spend all day looking for a product. So this one here, we have a bunch of FBA sellers at similar pricing or the same pricing. Now, what do you do in this scenario? What exactly do you do? Because one false move and it's like Jenga. You topple the tower, the bricks come falling down and it ends up being a bit of a mess. We have to work these somewhat carefully. Now, whether they are exactly the same price or if there's a penny or a cents difference or whatever, it's not really totally different. Like it's all in the same sort of thing. So here we have two at $12.95, $12.97, and we have a $12.99. The rest are sort of out of this scenario, but if the pricing on this listing was to shift this way on, then we'll be looking at the same sort of thing, just slightly higher up in price. Now, what do we do? Before I carry on, I just want to make a little side note here. Just note how Amazon have $9.99 in stock, $12.99. Yet this seller right here, who's got significantly less in stock, and they are on Amazon, $12.95. They have the buy box for this item. I'd be buying from them if I wanted to buy this right now. So just a little side note, as a hopeful little thing. Amazon doesn't always dominate. Anyway, we have a few FBA sellers here, and I would say the reason why the buy box is with this seller right now is just because of their stock level, I would say. Also the fact that their review count is higher than this seller right here. I would say that those bits have helped contribute towards this seller winning the buy box. But we're going to imagine it like this. We're going to say that there are somewhat similar stock levels. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but the pricing is the same. And in those scenarios, we can feel a bit stuck, like there's a stalemate, and we might wonder, what do we do? You might be tempted to try and get just underneath this price, like a penny under, or a pound or a dollar or whatever. I'm going to urge you not to do that in these cases where there's a bunch of people at the same kind of price. If it was just one, maybe two, then fair enough, you can give that a shot. But where you've got multiple lined up at that same kind of price point, you could topple the tower. And even if you have a really good repricer like Profit Protector Pro, it just means that climbing the ladder back up to that higher price point might be a little tougher. You basically ignite a dog pile, and any repricer, I think, that has any form of upwards repricing capability would find it that bit harder to get back up, because you've got everyone, then fighting for that new lower price. So the answer for this wouldn't be to go a little bit under, even if it's only like a penny or a cent. As I say, if there was only like these two at this kind of price point, I might give it a shot. But because there's more, and then there would be another set after this at a similar kind of price point, I want to think about this a little bit. Would I want to go slightly higher? Well, as you can see, that isn't really doing anything for any of these guys right here. Not just because they are Merchant Fulfilled Prime, and if I'm an FBA seller, these aren't really my main competition, Merchant Fulfilled Prime. My main focuses are their FBA sellers and Amazon, and vice versa. If I was a Merchant Fulfilled seller and these were Merchant Fulfilled, that would be my main competition, my main worry. I wouldn't go higher. I would match the buy box price. And I know you might get a bit of an itchy trigger finger and think, I've got to do something. It feels like such a stalemate. I would urge you not to. This is the part where patience comes into play. And I would say that you need to wait for Amazon to rotate the buy box, because they do and they will. This seller's only got 2 left in stock. They're going to be relieved of that stock. This seller's got 10. They'll likely get relieved of their stock as well. Okay? It's just the way it goes. It will rotate round. Each of these sellers will have their turn with it. I am highly doubtful that they came onto this listing with only 2, given that it sells quite well. So obviously they must have had a turn with it. And to be honest, I would say that these probably had a turn with it at some point, and they made some sales, hence why their levels have gone down. This will happen to this seller as well. So hold it. When you have that kind of scenario, wait for Amazon to move it round. Especially if the prices are similar, even if the reviews are similar and that, they will just move it around. Everyone will get their share of the buy box. When does this scenario end? When people sell out. If a bunch of people decide to drastically reprice and move their pricing up a bit more, or if someone else decides to topple it. But sensible sellers will be like-minded in the sense that they wouldn't want to topple this. Only someone that intentionally wants to do that will end up doing it. In which case, you'll be glad to have Profit Protector Pro by your side, because it will take that buy box from them. Essentially, it will work to get that buy box from them and then put that price back up. What you don't want to do is have everyone pile in. So even if everyone has the same repricer, Profit Protector Pro in this scenario will get you to a really good point where you're going to win the buy box, and if someone else had Profit Protector Pro, get them to that same point as well. Then it's just about sharing. Amazon will rotate that buy box. Don't worry, in those scenarios, keep it cool, and hopefully this helps you.